Over there is Rosebery Topping, the biggest hill in the world, so they say. And I'm walking back because there's hardly any buses, and I'm trying to find my way back to Great Ayton, and I found a little cart track by a couple of farms, and there's a couple of lakes here. I don't know whether they were to do with mining and they filled up or what, but we'll have a look in a minute. Well, we're cutting across from the Stokesay Road, the Stokesay to Middlesbrough Road, through trying to find a way, a shortcut to Great Ayton. And look at these here, sort of reeds, I think, because I think it was probably very marshy, and there's probably a lot of frogs in there. I'm probably one of them, but I'm the last one to admit it. But yeah, it's very, very reedy, this, isn't it? Yes, and there's nice little trees planted around there. There's my shadow dancing away on its own. Let's stop this. Well, I found a kind of thing. Don't know what kind of thing it is, but it's we're probably at the stockbroker belt. This is probably hot property, and I would say a one-storey flat that's kind of empty, trying to accrue money by being empty, which is what they do. And you can see there's grass growing, a grass carpet, which is quite exclusive. The roof is a little bit bent, but that's the style, and it's the sort of place where politicians might rent when they're on duty. Plenty of room in there for a party, so that's a little special thing there, and we'll get back to you. This is kind of like life. We can go this way, which we just came actually, or we could go that way, and there's another little way there, and there's this way and that way. And often in life you're in these positions and you haven't got a clue which way to go. Luckily I think I go this way, so we'll toddle on down here. Now this is rather nice. Here I think we have a daffodil, a daffodil as I call them, and over there some beautiful reeds and some more water. Can we see that? I can hardly see the screen because the sun's shining, but oh, look at those beautiful reeds standing up there like nobody's business. And you don't want to be amongst them because you might get rather wet, and it might be a bit quaggy there. But there's daffodils here. I think they're on the way out, but they have been in their prime. And look at those wonderful species of reed, all there, blooming breeds. I don't know what I'm saying. I make up anything, me. Now here you're going to watch me go right round the bend. Right round the bend. Here we go. We've got a bend here, and we're coming up on the left. Might be the right. I haven't got a clue. I'm not a driver. But we're going round a bend, and some people have just passed me, so I hope they don't hear this. We social distance, and yes, we've gone round a bend, and there's another bend there. And so you keep going round a bend, and that's the meaning of life, really, going round a bend, because if you don't go round a bend, you're on the straight and narrow. And where does that lead to? Nowhere. So there you go. Now, there's Rosebery Topping, Thor's Mountain, and near Great Ayton there's a noise of something that sounds like an aeroplane, but I can't see anything. But let's get this in focus. And there's a tree, and it's going right to the sky. And when it gets to the sky, Jack comes down, Jack of the Beanstalk, because it's a bean tree. Well, that's my story. Look at that. there's raspberry topping. And there's a little bird there flying around. Oh, and there's the moon. Can you see the moon? I don't know if it picks it up. There's a very, very thin wafer moon. Now we've got another dilemma. We can go that way, or we can go that way and bend round. We can go over the fence, but I don't think it's allowed. And I can't remember. I think it's that way. I shall have to have a look. I could well be lost. And we could go back and past the farmhouse and back onto the main road, but I'll investigate. Now this is how the M1 used to be before they put concrete down and invented the automobile. It was just quiet like this, a bit green, and so this could be in future times some kind of motorway. Wouldn't be going very far, just to the hills. Maybe a few milk floats, but it's a good place to meet fairies and all kinds of mythical creatures. And here's a mythical creature disguised as a tree, and look at that. Could be an octopus. Wow. And they're going on and on and on and on and on, plodding along. Now this is kind of interesting. It's a telegraph pole. In the old days they had phones, landlines, but not mobile phones like this, and people used to ski along them and communicate. Now we do it with other technology. And now look at that view there. There's some moo cows in the background, and we've got, if I can see the screen, there's some tree foliage and some moo cows in there. Wow. We're coming down now to the caravan park, so we're going to descend a little bit, and those buttercups look like buttercups, and there's things flying about, flying saucers. Get a lot of them here. I used to collect them in the jar, and we're going down, 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 and we'll get to a gate, and then we'll go to the caravan park, chalet park, hopefully, if it's not closed. Build me up buttercup, there they are, and see if we can close up. They're very small, but they're very buttery, and there's a whole kind of semi-field of them. They kind of live together, and you know, social network. They're not very distancing buttercups, but they're very beautiful, and I think bees and flying things like them, and I quite like them, and I'm a bit of a fly-by-night. Well, there you go. Now before they had gateways to this and gateways to that, they had real gates and stiles, and this is a gate, and it's please keep to the footpath, so no going off into the woods. But it's quite clever. It's got a little handle on it, and if you pull that you can often get through, and that's a real gate. So I thought I'd just tell you that. Now if you live in the city you might not see many trees. They tend to chop them down and build buildings, footpaths, but this is, look at that networking. Ah, they go right up again. Look at that. Looks like a monster. Wow. It's a real tree. In fact, it's two trees. I tell a lie.